Hi there, I'm Cher Johnston, and today we're going to do a thing. Before I start, I want to show you. I have this Rana cotton Tuscan olive. It's kind of like a number 8 pearl cotton, I guess. And I have this cotton strands. The color is lipstick, and I just love it. I don't usually use all 6 strands, but I'm gonna today. And I have a little stitch guide. Now, I made up a sheet with some stitch guides, and I scanned it and I put it on my coffee page where you can go and get it for free. I was going to show it to you. I can't find. Oh God. Yeah, I just scanned it. I just made it. I scanned it before I started this video, and now I can't find it. My mom would say, "You'd lose your head if it wasn't screwed on." So I'm going to do this is a herringbone stitch. So I'm going to do it. I'm going to show you how to do it. And I can't remember where oh, you know what? I need to start way over. Wait. Hold on. I need this dot where I'm going to start. Because it's going to start off the page. And it's going to go like this. And then that. Okay. Well, I'll just show you. So the dot grid is when I first started doing stitching, I made my own grids, and you can transfer them with a blip, 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 blip. You can either hold the dot grid up to the window and trace over it. That's one way that you can do it. You can color on the back with a heat transfer pen. I have one somewhere. I can't find it. I don't use it anymore. Or you can print the grid on cardstock and poke holes. What I have here is plastic something or other that I bought, and I put the plastic over the template, the drawing, the whatever, and I drew on it, and then I punched holes with a little teeny tiny hole punch thing that I have. Or you can just use an awl or a needle. If you don't have an awl, you can just use a regular, um, almost said knitting needle. Not a knitting needle. We're not doing knitting. Just a regular embroidery needle. Um, so there's that. So you can print it out, and many ways that you can, or you can just, make your own stitch guides. I did it on a piece of grid paper, and I think each one is like a 1/4 inch or something, so you can draw lines. You can do your own if you want. But bottom line is, that's what I did when I was learning. And so I figured I would give you guys something you can use when you're learning stitches. So I put on there a herringbone like this one. This one is not even. When I finish, you'll see. The top row of stitches is even. This one is good when I'm done. It's good to see the back, so you can really tell how it's done. You stitch, your stitch is traveling from left to right, but your needle goes in from right to left. If you're right-handed. If you're left-handed, the opposite would be true. If you're left-handed, you could go and watch Rachel Roxbury of Roxy Creations. She's left-handed, and I watch her often, and it makes me a little crazy because she's left-handed. So, I did all this. Sometimes I just go and tug a little bit to make sure they're nice and tight, nice and snug. There we go. Now I'm going to show you the back. So see on the back, it's just, and this line is even, and there's two even lines here. So there's X's with spaces here. We're going to put some hearts in there. Right after I do this, we're going to put stitches here, just because I like the look of it. The other thing that I put on the dot grid is that you can fill in with, on the bottom I put this herringbone, and I put the dots that you would use to do the heart stitch, and then I put a note on the side that you would fill in the stitches with straight stitches or French knots or roses or detached chain stitch or French knots or beads and sequins. So that's what I'm going to do today. I'm going to do now I'm going to go back this way. I'm going to do some hearts, and I'll show you how to do the heart stitch. And then I don't know. I often, if you watch me at all, I often just it's not scripted. I don't write out. I don't even think usually about what I'm going to say first. And sometimes I think that you can tell, and that's fine with me. I lie by the seat of my pants. I had a dream one day that said that I should just do videos on the fly. I went, yeah, when I was teaching classes, I didn't ever have a specific thing in mind. Oh, I love this color, I really do. I never had a specific thing in mind. And each class was different. I always had the idea that I should teach, basic stitches, and then from there, just do whatever they wanted to see. There's my little tiny scissors. These are getting worn and I need new ones because I'm really bummed that they're not working as well. All right. I did not draw in the dots, but I will do that now because I don't really need them, but I'll draw them. Now this is the bottom. This here is going to be the top. The last one that I did like this, I sewed it together at the top, and I didn't mean to do that. I wasn't going to do that. So now the bottom dot is going to go right about there. I'm going to have 3 heart stitches. The bottom dot is going to go right there in the center. The top dot is going to go right here between all those, right above it, and all those. And then the other 2 dots are going just north of that dot. See that? All right, now I'm going to come up here on this dot, and then now if you're learning, you might want to either get out your camera to take a picture or prepare to do a screenshot, because this is how I learned. Take a picture or do a screenshot. That's the first part of this heart stitch. Okay, now if you missed it, I'm going to do it again 2 more times. So now pull, not too tight. If you get too tight, you'll lose that sort of loopy thing there. I'm going to go down just on the other side of that thread. I'm going to come back up where I came out the first time. There's a knot under there, so I'm having a hard time with it. I don't want to be on that side, I want to be on this side. Well, okay, that'll do. And now I have my thumb over top of it because it helps to keep the stitch in place. Okay. All right. Now here's the next stitch. I forgot to stop and let you take a picture. So here's the next one. Okay. There we go. Now, I'm going to go down here to anchor it, and I'm going to travel along the back. What I mean by travel is that I don't like the long stitches in the back that can trip me up, kind of. So I'm going to do a running stitch in the back of that fabric there. You could end off and start again if you wanted. All right, now I'll remember this time to stop so you can get pictures. So we start here, and I'm going to go in that dot and out that dot and wrap, take a picture, and then pull through. Then I'm just going to pull through right about there, not too tight. Then next, I'm going to go in on the outside of that and up there. Okay, take a picture. Then I'm going to pull through, and I'm caught on something there. Not too tight. Then again, in here and out there on that dot, wrap around, take a picture. There we go. Then to the back. And pull through. There's that. Then I forgot to travel. I was going to travel. It helps so that later I don't get caught on those stitches later on. And look. Oh, you're not supposed to do that. But you know what? Mistakes happen, and it's fine. We like the mistakes. As long as they're not horrible, terrible mistakes. Now, I don't think I put these dots up far enough. I'm going to go just above that dot. Wrap around. Okay, in this dot again, and just above that one that was too low. There we go. Ta-da! Alright, next, I'm going to turn off the camera, turn on my AC, and think a bit, because I don't know what I'm going to do next. Be back. Okay, next we're going to add some Razzle. This is Razzle, and this is Dazzle. I love crazy quilt stitches that are bright and cheerful and blingy. So with rayon threads, we iron them. So I have my handy dandy little flat iron here. A hole. There we go. That's nice. And I have a number 5 Bowen basting needle. And I hope I can get this threaded. There we go. I don't want to use a bigger needle because I don't want to stitch with a bigger needle. I want to use this one. Alright. Now I'm going to draw in what I'm going to do because, I don't know, just because. Been sewing on the couch, so I took a lot of my things to the couch. I'm going to do little right here, I'm going to do just some straight stitches here. And I'm going to put French knots at the end. Now, that's the same thing as a pistol stitch. I don't like pistol stitches. And I heard Jennifer Clouston say that she doesn't like pistol stitches. And I thought, well, it's okay then if I don't like pistol stitches. I like to do straight stitches and then follow with either a French knot or a colonial knot. Wait, I'm going to go from the outside in here. That way I can go from the outside here back in there. Now this here is a case where a hoop might be useful, but I don't like to use a hoop. So I'm going to try something different. Which I have not tried before. We're going to see how this works. Oh, that helped it stay flat down flat, flattened out. It won't move now. So this is a colonial knot. I'm going to poke through, pull the knot tight, just as tight as I can, and pull through to the back. That's why I didn't want bigger needle, because I want smaller knots. Now I think I'm going to pull on this just a bit, flatten it out, and this will, when I'm done, I'll spritz it with a little water, and I think it'll come back. Or maybe not. Let's go up here. Pull tight on the knot. The only thing about this is that it gets really hot. Let's go up here. So I love, with crazy quilting, I love to use lots of different colors, bright colors, and add trims, bright colored trims, all that. Which is the reason that I'm using all neutral fabrics. The bright colored fabrics can tend to compete with, with the stitches. I want the stitches to really shine. So, and I got in the mail, I got some happy mail from my friend Michelle, and she sent me some um, beautiful um, napkins, vintage napkins, and doilies, and they're just beautiful. I love that they're white, but they're not all white because vintage items age differently. There's a couple that are bright white. They're not probably not as old or whatever. Um, and I'll tea dye those. I may use I may cut them and use a corner in. See, this one's popping up, so I'm going to just pull that down and I'm going to pull on it while I press. There we go. Well, heck. Just have to make sure that that's pulled taut enough. Anyway, I might use one of the doilies or part of one of the doilies. But I cut it up. Use part of it for my Roxy's Journal of Stitchery. Because I have one doily. I haven't done, we have a new prompt, and I haven't done my video yet. I did it a couple times, but it wasn't very long, and it wasn't interesting at all. So I just deleted those videos. So now I have more doilies. And I think I'm going to put them on a pink background, a Tula pink background. And I have this Tula pink fabric that I've been saving to make a quilt. Um, and I think I had the idea that I was going to get more fabric, but I think I have enough fabric. I mean, I wanted to have more, but I think I was doing animals. And I think that those are not in print anymore. And the quilt shop where I used to buy that fabric is closed. So I have to shop online. And I think it would be pretty expensive to finish my collection. Let's try and just do this knot without, oh, without pressing it. This is the song I had in my head for about a week. We know it's all going to come out in the end, right? It has to. I'll turn this back on now because it's starting to cool down. Didn't do much. I think, let's see. I'm going to do some Razzle or Dazzle. Yes, the other one's Dazzle. I love the purple Dazzle. Right. Now I'm going to end this off on the back. I sewed those lines with some scrap thread so that I could iron. And if I ironed out the lines, I wanted them to stay there. And there they are. Okay. Now, what do we do with the dazzle? I think we have to do something right here. Maybe just a detached chain stitch like that. Or maybe we do I forget the name of this stitch. It's a wheat ear, but it's like a detached chain stitch and a fly stitch together. We'll just call it that. So let's get a length of our dazzle. Cut that off. I'm going to put this back on its peg before it comes all unraveled. Oh, I got a really long piece of this, didn't I? Haha, what do you know? It's because I have my glasses on. All right, let's do this. Let's do a grandma knot. I don't think I got the bigger needle. I didn't want to use it. You know what it is? Oh, my hands are sweaty. It's hot. It is so hot here in Southern California. I'm not going to complain. I try really hard not to complain about the weather because most of the time it is just beautiful here. So I want this stitch, I want this one to start not down here but over here, so it's sort of even like. And then I'm going to go right up here. I even have the AC on. I've had the AC on for um, 2 days straight, 3 days straight, straight through the night. Can't sleep without it on. But I'm not going to complain because most of the time we have just the most beautiful weather here. It's mostly 70s, you know, the winter time. I grew up in Michigan. If you don't know, if you're from another country or something, Michigan is like being from another country. They have snow in the winter. It's when you look at a map and you see um, the lakes around the mitten. That's how people from Michigan talk about where they're from. I'm from right there, Midland. It's cold and wet and it snows and it's very close to Canada and it's the wintertime. The days are so short. It's, yeah. When I moved away, my father couldn't understand. My mom understood totally. I had, I got arthritis in my hands when I was like 16. So, um, I can deal with heat. Although, when my parents got older, they became snowbirds. They lived in Michigan in the summertime and they went to Florida in the wintertime. That's what I want to do. I've made a mess of it. Look at this. I'll twist it up. Now, I have to dangle the needle off camera. It's not going to go anywhere. Well, I might have to cut all this out, speed it up, cut cut the sound. I don't know. We'll see. I'm watching Downton Abbey. I don't know if you watched Downton Abbey. Um, there's a final, the final movie is coming out in September. So I'm watching from the beginning. I think I've said this already, but I can repeat it if I want. You guys don't care if I tell the same stories again and again, right? I think after this, I'm going to get out some beads and sequins. Because this side has all that bling. This side needs some bling. Maybe I should have used a bigger needle. Maybe that's what my problem is here. Excuse me. I love these. I think the next one I'm going to do will be a cretin stitch, or maybe a double cretin stitch. I have given you a pattern. I'm pretty sure I mentioned it already, but if I haven't, I did a pattern that I put on my Ko-fi site that you can download for free. You can, of course, donate and, and give me $1 or 5 or 20. I'm kidding. Um, but you could donate if you wanted, and if not, if you have not got the money, I understand, because we're all going through tough stuff right now, and I wanted to make it free because I know we're all going through some tough stuff. So if you go and download the pattern and you don't have money to give, don't feel bad at all, because I get it. I understand. All right. Next. Oh, gosh. Well, actually, next, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this behind us here. Let me just secure this back here. This is easier to stitch through. See, if I had planned this out, I would have done the Razzle and the Dazzle on the linen. This is linen, this is cotton. The linen has a looser weave and it's easier to stitch through. But you know, I don't plan stuff out. It's all just done on the fly. Actually, I am planning one thing out right now. I'm going to do some kids with a lemonade stand. I think that'd be cute. I started thinking about design, and I decided to do it sort of like Charles Schwartz, like Peanuts in the Gang. All right. Whoa, this is half an hour. Holy moly. Guess I will have to speed it through. So let's zoom in. Zoom, 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 zoom. Isn't that pretty? Okay, I'll be back with sequins. Okay, I'm mostly done, but I thought I'd come back on here and show you what I'm doing. I have gray Nemo thread, and I have a number 10 little teeny tiny beading needle. So I come up from the back, I'm going to do 2 little stitches on the top. And I do this for each and every one. And I'm going to put the sequin on, and then the bead. I'm using these grayish, that one's weird looking. Using these like gray gold beads for the clear ones. And I used some clear sparkly beads for the green ones. Then I'm going to position it where I want it and go through to the back. And then on the back, I'm going to do 2 more stitches back here. Now, I wanted to tell you a couple things. The Razzle and the Dazzle comes from SueSpargo.com. And then also, I wanted to show you the back. My granddaughter likes that. She likes to see the back sometimes. So, and then I marked the top, because last time I forgot and I sewed the top shut. And this time I wanted to remember. So let me zoom in. I'm going to get a nice close-up picture this time. That's my video for today. Thanks for watching. Thank you for joining me. Remember, be kind. Always be kind. And remember, every little thing is going to be all right. It's all going to come out in the end. Thanks for watching. Bye.